Vince, can you talk a little bit about kind of what your labor contributions are to the farm, like during a typical year?
The wintertime is a little lower level. When the sun goes down at 5 o'clock, we will usually start going inside for our other indoor tasks and so forth. As opposed to summertime, when the light stays till 8 or 9 o'clock and we're still outside taking advantage of all the light. So, yes indeed, the labor will be less, basically according to the light of the day.
Okay.
The wintertime is the time for doing all your maintenance work. You can maintain all your tillers and tractor and the mowers and all the other small hand tools you have. Time for getting things neat, organized, clean out your storage areas, cut the wood for your own wood-burning stove. It's a funny thing, but even in the wintertime, we don't find ourselves idle at all. We call this place Projects Unlimited, in fact. In the spring, summer, and fall, of course, very busy. By the way, the winter time is, yes, indeed, you're right. That's the time you order your seeds, start doing a little bit of planning, perhaps a little sketching on what you want to do this year, line out your markets, and so forth. Then it becomes very obvious in the springtime. You've got to start preparing the land. A lot goes into that. Even a single row of the garden. You've got your first a cover crop that you've got to start tilling in. Then you've got your rows that you've got to make grooves for the seeds or your transplants. You've got to make the transplants. Jessica does all her own seed work. Some of those seeds are so fine, they're like little grains of ground pepper that you've got to get into each little cubicle. So in the springtime, early spring, we may have 3 or 4 or 5,000 seedlings started in those little cubicles. Then it becomes transplant time. You have to take those seedlings, transplant them into the garden. Stoop labor, as they call it, is sort of tough on your back.
It is tough on your back, yeah.
So we're trying to shy away from that, but that's something you cannot shy away from. Either planting or seeds or weeding, picking bugs, whatever. Anyway, it becomes very obvious once you get started all the work you have to do. Summertime with all the mowing and the weeding. If you've got a little pond from which you do your irrigation work, you've got a little startup of the pond pump. Lay out all the irrigation. We use drip tubes. It's just way too much to describe all the little things, but they all seem to fall into place. If you have any smarts at all, you can see what needs to be done next.
You mentioned before that this business is definitely capable and able to expand and to grow, but you all have made the choice, either for whatever reasons that you have, to keep it the size that it is. I mean, that's a choice, that's a conscious choice that you and she have made.
That's very true. And I think one of the biggest factors in keeping it at that level that we have it, the more simplified level, is the labor aspect. We're kind of possessive in the fact that we don't want other people in general working our stuff. We like our lifestyle because it's ours, because Jessica and I are the only ones working on it. The expansion aspect, making it more pristine, developing certain products, adding in the greenhouse, instead of growing just on the ground, you have your hanging pots all over. You take advantage of all the volume available inside a greenhouse. Well, to do that, you either have to start working on into the night, which is not too healthy. You have to be totally dedicated, so a lot of your other normal life goes down the drain. Or you have to then start thinking about labor. The labor aspect is what we did not want to think about. And if you're good and efficient and can organize a little bit of labor and have some real good ideas on how to make a little more money or to use your land a little more advantageously, then go for it. It's just been our conscious decision, yes, not to pursue that. If you just think about it, there are so many things that you can do to produce and to sell. Your imagination is your only limit.